You're seriously, you've gotten that Bill Rector disease where once you get the job, you're afraid to speak out about stuff.
We're in pretty good shape over there in Pittsburgh right now. So, we're standing by waiting to see if the Seahawks are going to step up here.
They're not. Soon. I'm telling you right now, I've been at this since 1977. They're not. You got nothing to worry about. We'll see. We probably should talk about crime stuff. We could talk about football with pretty much anybody. But not a lot of people, I don't know if people know this or not, but you could have very easily been sitting here right now as like a former NFL player instead of the chief of police.
Yeah, it's possible, but I think I made the right choice.
Oh, clearly.
It's been an interesting career, and I'm looking forward to more challenges here. So.
And how's it going us? I mean, you've already had the job, I think, longer than Rector did, didn't you? You've already got more tenure than that guy ever built up.
It seemed like a flash. He was here and then gone. It's been 6 weeks, and it's just been going 7 in the morning until 7 at night, it seems like, and sometimes longer. But it's been quite a challenge, and it's been going well.
And the great thing is we still and I told Bill the last time he was here, I said, after you don't have the job, we don't have any reason to be afraid of you. So we're just going to give you just no end of grief after you're. And I still think he's probably got some phone numbers. I think he can still make some bad stuff happen for us. But I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let. I'm going to continue to give the guy a bad time. The new thing that's coming up, and I've been hearing about this a lot in the news. And honestly, unless you can convince me otherwise, it just kind of creeps me out. Is we're about to get a lot more cameras, like in the downtown area and all of that stuff. Does that? I don't. Every time I hear about that, I always think, well, that gives us some nice video to find out who did the thing after the crime's already committed. You know what I mean? Or are there people out there that go, oh, there's a camera, let's not do anything bad?
Well, that's what we're hoping for. It's a deterrent for one thing, where people know, hey, I may be under video surveillance. On the other hand, we've had a lot of success. I think you've seen probably in the newspapers and on TV us putting out some videos of some suspects that have been involved in some crimes in some local stores and stuff. We had a good response from the public and the community on giving us tips on who those individuals were. And I would venture to say that we've caught 60 to 70% of them being identified after they were videoed.
Wow. Once you get to the point where you see the video of a guy stealing the video camera, you have to wait a minute. But I guess it's a really cost-effective crime-fighting tool because they don't cost a lot to maintain. You just put the thing up, and a lot of cities, a lot of more sophisticated than ours, have been doing this for a long time, and obviously the model's there and it's working.
They have. Chicago obviously comes to mind, and then London. I think they have over 10,000 cameras in their in their city there, but. It can be effective if used properly. Obviously, our concept is that we're not looking. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting a lot more police officers on the streets here the next couple of years. Unless we can actually count on some more grant funding, which is always we just don't know if we're going to get it or not. So we're looking for some alternative methods where we can be just as effective, but be more efficient in working in the downtown area with all the development that's been going on down there. We want to make it a safe place. We want to make it a place where people can go and enjoy themselves, whether it's during the day or enjoy the nightlife, or Mill Creek at the park with all the events they have coming up. First Fridays, the Downtown Business Association events down there. We want people to enjoy themselves at all the venues they have. Now we have the Padre, the Fox Theater has become a staple down there with all the concerts that they're having, and the Maya Cinema is up there, and then of course the hockey rink and the ice rink. We want to make those places a safe place where people feel comfortable to come and enjoy the events and the venues.
I wonder if we could get you're the chief of police. You got some horsepower. Do you think you could get them to put in a couple of curling lanes over at the what? America has gone curling crazy, my friend. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but curling is kind of a big deal.
I want to say curling may have taken the lion's share of the Olympic coverage on one channel that I happen to be watching.
Me too. There was that one, like CNBC or whatever it was.
MSNBC, I think it was.
They didn't show anything but curling for 2 weeks, all day, every day. There was like Guatemala versus Japan in women's curling. It went on for 5 hours.
It's like shuffleboard without the beer.
It is shuffleboard. Just so you know, I actually dug this little nugget up. The guy who's the head of the skipper of the Team USA. You know what his job is?
What's that?
Bartender in a curling club.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought we'll get into that a little bit later. Well, good luck on the camera thing. My daughter was in England last summer, and the people in London. It's like they have more cameras per square foot than any other place apparently in the world. And that's just part of the London experience is you're on camera all the time. And she actually made a video of just videoing the cameras. And I mean, on every street corner, they'll have they've got like the light thing with the 3 little lights thing, and there's a camera in between each one of them, and on every light post everywhere. And I guess and they seem to have had a high success rate with it.
I don't think we'll go quite that extravagant to start with, but
they didn't either. But that's just where they ended up.
We're hoping to build on a program that we're looking at proof of concept right now. We've used some old equipment to test it to see if it works, and it does. And now we're ready to move forward. So I'll be meeting with Mr. Tandy and economic development here, and the guys that have been working on it down at the department and the technology department to propose a plan to them to see if we can get it off the ground.
Nice. And the other good thing that you have is when those cameras are running all the time. I mean, that video is being fed into a hard drive somewhere where that's being stored. And what it does is when you do catch somebody, it gives you can go back to the videotape and your conviction rate will go up, I would think, quite a little bit because you got the guy on video committing the crime.
We're hoping so.
So, in other words, you're going to want to tie a bandana around your face or something from now on when you're out committing crimes. And you know what? And the thing that everybody's going to ask you about this anyway, and if you're not prepared for it, you shouldn't have the job. There's not going to be a lot of money, like you were talking about, in the budget for more cops. That's a given.
I think so. I think we all know that. Right,
so you got to hold the line. And people talk about that thin blue line and how it gets thinner all the time. And you've got to deal with that, and then you've got to deal with all these people that are getting this prison overcrowding deal and all these people that are getting ready to get put back onto the street. That means, because we've all had these stupid meetings, we heard that from our boss all the time, you need to learn to do more with less. But you know what? You can't do more with less. That's a ridiculous concept.
Right, you really have to be ingenious, you have to be innovative, and you have to try to figure out ways on, how you can address issues that you forecast or you see that are coming up. So sometimes you have to just, as opposed to having police officers on the street, you have to look for more innovative ideas on how you're going to be able to suppress crime.
And plus, and by the way, we're talking to Chief Police Williamson. You also hope, and I know that you're going to get a big kick out of this, that these guys that they let out of prison early, they've learned their lesson anyway, and they're not going to go back to a life of crime.
Well, the CDCR, the R stands for rehabilitation, so we hope that they have been rehabilitated. The fact of the matter is that we're looking at, I've heard everything between 25,000 and 45,000 what they call low-risk offenders that are going to be released from prison, not supervised on parole, and we're looking at 1,200 to 1,400 being released into our community. Now, that's an issue I think that we're addressing with the Kern Chiefs Association and associations up and down the state, including Sacramento, but also with CDCR, the Department of Corrections. The problem is that these people are being released, and unless they have any job skills that are needed in our community, there's not a whole lot of jobs out there. I don't know if you've looked at the one ads on Sunday.
There's not a lot happening.
There's not a lot going on. So we're releasing these guys back into our community, and they have no jobs. So what do we think that they're going to do?
Oh yeah, and the recidivism rate's high enough as it is anyway. There's a reasonable expectation a lot of these guys are going to go back to doing what they did. And let's face it, apparently, like selling drugs is a great way to make money fast. Dangerous, horrible, you probably get shot in the face, all of that stuff. But so when the economy's booming along and then get out and get a job and get their lives turned around, it's already bad. You couple that with the fact that these guys are going to get released back into an environment where there's nothing else for them to do. I got to believe the recidivism rate is going to be even higher than it needed to be.
Well, we're really concerned, not only on our level, but we're concerned, what is the district attorney's office going to do? What's Ed Jagel's going to do when we arrest more people and he has to prosecute more? He has to make a choice, because when they prosecute him, they got to go to jail or they have to go to prison. Okay, and then I'm worried about Donnie Youngblood. What is he going to do with all these prisoners that are released if the state's not going to take them? Because a part of their plan is to reform how we try felons. They may be reduced to misdemeanors, and so the misdemeanors now, a misdemeanor goes to county jail as opposed to state prison. A felon goes to state prison when they're convicted. So if they reduce several felonies or wobblers that are on the books already, then these individuals, when convicted, are going to be going to county jail. Now, that means that Donnie, who is under the same budget constraints that everybody else is feeling right now, he either has to open more beds or say, I can't take them. And so, it's almost like the state's imposing this problem upon the cities and the counties, and we're trying to wade through it, but we're sticking together, and we're going to come up with a plan to make this thing work and keep the streets safe.